What's going on, guys? I'm Journey. It's been a while, and I'm back with a thoughts video, this time on Cris Tales. Cris Tales is not a game that's going to set you on fire, or is it a game that's going to be the worst experience you ever had? It sits somewhere in the middle. You are Chris Bell. You lay, or at least you rest at an orphanage, and the lady of this orphanage is called Mother Superior. And trust me, everything on that body is superior. Unfortunately, the game ain't about that, which is really, really unfortunate. Still, let's move on. What happens is your homeland gets attacked, and during this process, Chris Bell she finds out about herself and a little bit about the world around her. This leads her onto an adventure with newly acquired powers to set forth to go and set things right within the world. Now, her powers is that of time. She can manipulate the past, the present, and the future. And depending on the events, will shape your story as you move along. However, it doesn't really do much per se, but there are kind of like options that you can have. Now, also this thing about invoking time and manipulating time, it really happens like this. Your screen gets split like a triangle. Your center is your present, your left is your past, and your right is your future. And do some side questing, and even in battle, you can use these to your advantage. More particularly in battle. You can have a situation where you have a character initiate something in the past and then invoke the present, and then said action will then occur. You can also do it over in the future, towards the past, and various other different type of combinations with other skills that characters have. You can also manipulate enemies that have one looking younger or older, though I still don't see the effects of that because I don't necessarily see the XP gain increase dramatically when you make them stronger, or decrease dramatically when you make them weaker, if they even get weaker. I don't know. Still, it's still a nice game. It's not too bad. The combat also has that kind of dodge mechanic where you can have a deflection, which will negate some of the damage. You can have a parry system, will completely negate the damage. However, it's so awkward, and for me, it's been like really RNG when I get it. When I don't, I don't even want to bother with it. But in some battles, because of a mechanic like this exists, enemies tend to hit harder, and so it's going to become a point where you're going to really need it. And so hopefully you get better at it, but it still doesn't make the experience better, nor does it make it fun. It's just one of those things. It's just kind of like I could have did without it. Side questing, you can start some missions, but you will have to go through the past or the future to figure out like what can you acquire, and then hit back to the past, go and report, rinse and repeat. It's kind of something like that. And as you move along, there are other islands that you'll end up going to, other means of transportation, no different from any other old school RPG, and more characters that you will meet. Like I said, one of those characters is named Christopher, and that character is it's like he had a role in Assassin's Creed, somehow got lost in the shuffle, ended up at the cancel game Scalebound, took the dude's goggles, and then got some jewelry from Snoop Dogg. I don't know what else to say. Outside of that, he looks like, well, he has a shield, supposed to be built like a tank, but do magic damage. There's a lot of stuff, and then some of the characters, I can't even tell if they're man or female. And for the longest time, I couldn't tell. Even through half of the game, it was just really difficult because just one of the biggest things I have an issue with this game is that it's so feminine, super feminine, and because of that, I don't think its adoption rate is going to go any further, but just kind of like here because of that fact. So if you're kind of like a person like a man's man, like nah, this ain't gonna be for you. This game is like Barney meets Bratz meets Barbie meets I Love Pony meets Chia meets any cartoon character on PBS Kids. And unfortunately, uh, Crisbell is accompanied by a frog, and this frog is so nice, but ultra nice that you kind of feel weird about it because it's like one of those skits that you might see of Barney being completely not what he is, right? So the more friendly you are, the more friendly, and then all of a sudden he seems kind of creepy. That's what the frog that accompanies Crisbell feels like. Feels pretty creepy. Also, in your adventure, you will find out that there are other mother superiors. My God! But still, it's not a bad game. It's pretty good. The soundtrack is amazing. To me, the soundtrack is the standout. It is the standout. It is the best thing about this game. If you do want to play it, trust me, you'll play it because the soundtrack is amazing and the game is pretty good to play. You probably might need some grinding. Pro tip: the more you grind, Chris Bell will gain access to an AOE heal. That heal will most definitely carry you throughout the vast majority of the game. So it's there. It's entirely up to you. Boss battles can be as easy as you want them to be, or as difficult as you want them to be. It's all about your ability to be able to grasp the parry system and how that works. Trust me, it's been for me like RNG kind of thing. And I don't know. It's just the environment itself, the world they live in, is gorgeous. The character models I'm going to question like hard because it just feels weird, especially with some of the themes. And some of the things aren't so kid friendly, or at least they aren't so happy go jolly, right? There's loss in the game, there's deceit in the game, there's a lot of things in the game that I really do feel like this game would have benefited from a more kind of grounded kind of look. And so it's on Game Pass, it's on PlayStation, on Switch, it's on PC. I believe it is. So if you get an opportunity to check it out, I would say go for it and see what it might be for you. But for me, this is slightly above average, but it is a pretty good experience. That's my thoughts on Cris Tales, and I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed putting it together. Hit that like and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. And until then, I hope to catch you guys in the next one. Take care.